Hi everyone, this is Joy, and today I've made some alcohol ink backgrounds and also have made 2 cards using the alcohol lift ink. I also use the kit from Simon Says Stamp October monthly kit. So first, I'm going to make the alcohol ink backgrounds, which I have never done before. So here's all my brand new supplies, which was of course exciting to always get something new. So those first 3 colors came in the Simon Says Stamp kit this month. By the way, I have to say it's a fabulous kit. I think it is every month, but this month was really good. Excuse me. So this is my first attempt, and you'll be able to tell. I didn't put down the blending solution first. I had seen a couple other girls' videos of this a while back. I probably should have watched one before I did it, but I didn't because I was super excited and just jumped right in. And as I started, I went, oh, well, here we go. So you guys are going to come along this journey with me of the first time. The one thing I did notice is that these colors are super vibrant. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. Of course, it's, the holidays are coming up, and so I was trying to make this Christmas color and a Christmas colored background. So here's a true story. Right here, I am yelling across my house for my kids to run and bring me a straw because I wanted to kind of blow the ink around, and my background is drying. And my kids are hollering, what? Because they can't hear me because my craft room's on the other side. So I'm just trying my best. So my son brought me a straw. A cute little Christmas straw. It was pretty funny. So as you can see, nothing was really moving around too much because things were starting to dry. So I made a note to self that make sure your background is, pretty wet. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about this background. It is kind of a funky background, but I really ended up really liking it. I just kept adding more ink, more blending solution. Trying to move some things around. It was a lot of fun. A little scary, but a lot of fun. So that one's done. Oh, maybe. Okay, so this one I was a little wiser and added the blending solution first. I think what it is that I want to have too much control, and you just can't when it comes to this. I think you just have to let yourself be free. But that was fun, and it moved beautifully, and I loved those 2 colors together. Now this side I tried to do the same as the other side. It doesn't work like that. It wants to do its own thing. But you just keep adding and going, and I think right there I was kind of thinking, oh no, what am I doing? I'm messing it up. But really, this one ended up being one of my most favorite backgrounds. I should have left it right there, but I didn't. I kept messing with it. So maybe that is something else I need to remember. If I really like how it is, just leave it alone. And right there, I thought, oh, I've absolutely destroyed this. But really, it turned out so beautiful. So the next one I wanted to make was, I kind of wanted it to have a fall feel. And I wanted to use the little blending tool with the little felt squares instead of letting it be so organic like the other ones, to really kind of control what you're doing. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was a little nervous. then I just thought, well, just go with it. And I thought I would kind of start a little bit of an ombre effect, but these colors are pretty close and they're not too far, so I really didn't get that effect, but I really loved this background when it was done. And these colors are not usually my favorite. I'm a kind of a blue and green girl, but this turned out super pretty, so I ended up using this one for the cards today. Just trying to think about what I want to do next. This is a messy project, so just know that ahead of time. I would say don't be wearing cute clothes. And you would need to change out your little felt. It does get pretty saturated. So I did that because I wanted to add the lighter yellow at the top. And that turned out pretty fabulous. Now this one I added way too much blending solution. And then I also realized that I think my table is a little bit crooked, my crafting table, because it was all kind of sliding down. But this one I just really quick blew through the straw and left it alone. Now for these ones, I did the same blending tool. I thought my camera was on and it was not, so I apologize for that. Look how gorgeous that one is. So this is the one I totally thought I messed up. Absolutely beautiful. It'll make a fantastic background. That one is still pretty funky, but I really do like it. It reminds me of Christmas balls. I'm not sure if I already said that or not. And this was a red and orange. And then that one that I put too much blending solution on was still way too wet. Okay, so here's the alcohol lift ink. And so I'm just got my stamp. It's the Simon Says Stamp Sketched Flowers, and it's in the October card kit. So you're just going to stamp the stamp real good. And I did this process 3 times. And I'm just pressing really good. I want really good contact. And it's going to remove that alcohol ink off of that Yupo paper. And just pat it a little bit to get the rest of it off. But I did it 3 times because I wanted a really good lift. And then what's left on the stamp, you're going to put, don't waste it, put it on another piece of regular porous paper. So I did a Bristol smooth cardstock, and I wanted a really good dark impression on this, and that's another reason why I did this process 3 times. So now, so that's after the 3 times, it's really dark. And so now I'm using the Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink because I want to emboss onto this paper because I want to use my zigs and do a little bit of watercoloring. So I'm going to do the clear embossing powder. I'm going to heat it with my heat tool. Make sure your heat tool is nice and hot before you take it to your paper. And so I like how soft and the background is, and then you can also see the variations with this inked background off of what you took from the alcohol inked background. So there they are together. I love it. It was absolutely fun. So beautiful. If you have not tried it, you need to try this. It is a good time. So like I said, I'm going to be making 2 cards. So for the first card, I was going to stamp some more of the floral images, the little single flowers from the sketched flowers from the kit. And I did my powder tool on my Vellum, stamped it with the clear embossing powder, or sorry, embossing ink. And I am using Simon Says Stamp Ultrafine Rose Gold embossing powder. I'm really into pinks. It's usually been softer pinks this year, but this rose gold I thought would be beautiful with that excuse me, orangey alcohol inked background. So same thing, make sure your heat gun's hot. Embossing those. I thought I needed another singular flower from the kit. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to cut those out real quick by hand. Super easy. Make sure you use that anti-static tool. It is wonderful for not having little stray embossing powders. Sorry, excuse me. I've got allergies. So here I'm stamping the background, and I'm gonna do the same embossing powder. I wanted more of that color on the orange background. And really, this is a super simple card. I mean, ultimately the backgrounds were easy and simple. I trimmed it down. I'm using a standard A2 size card, top folding card base. I ran those through my Xyron sticker maker, and I'm pushing down right there because you just want all the, when you take the release paper off, that there's not a bunch of sticky and it's not pulling from the side. So just rub it down really good. And I'm just kind of placing these over kind of similar flowers on the background. Just want to stick this to my card base. I just use a dot tape runner. It's a Tombow mono tape runner. And my background stuck to my mat there. I'm like, oh no. Now I wanted to pop this up with some foam tape because I wanted a little bit of dimension. I didn't want a completely flat card. Not that there's anything wrong with a flat card, but not today. So get that on there nice and straight. And then I am using Nuvo Crystal Drops in Party Pink, and I will also be using Nuvo Glitter Drops in White Blizzard. I just wanted a little more pink on this card. I still think it feels very fall, but it's pretty. Doesn't always have to be all browns and greens and oranges, and you can add a little bit of something else in there, a little bit of pink. So here's the White Blizzard Crystal Drops, and just a few of those. And I think I went back and added a little more of the Party Pink to some of the center flowers because I felt like I needed a little bit more pink. And I kind of kept wiping it off on that little paper because it was coming out in too big of dots, and I didn't want huge dots. So that's card one, that was done. Okay, so here's card two. Remember, that was the ink lifted from the stamp, or from the background, put onto this Bristol Smooth cardstock. And so I'm using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I'm using mid green on this. I'm just using one color and blending it out with my water brush pen. For me, I'm the most comfortable doing that. I know other people can use multiple colors. I feel like I kind of mess it up if I do that. Not always, but I kind of like to just put the darkest part where I want it dark and then just kind of blend out with the water brush pen. So here I'm using mid green, getting all the green flowers in. Remember, I had embossed this with a clear embossing powder, so that also helps to kind of contain your watercoloring, so it's kind of makes it foolproof. Here I'm doing the pale pink, and I'm just kind of coloring at the base of the flowers and leaves, and then just using my water brush pen and drawing it out. I wanted this really soft. I still wanted this to feel fall, but kind of just very, you know, very soft, very muted colors. I love that pale pink. That is one of my most favorite colors in the set. Look at that, so gorgeous. And then you have the shine from the clear embossing powder. You know, it doesn't take away from the design at all. So just adding it again in just a few spots, and then I'll blend it out with the water brush pen. Nothing fancy. I've learned to relax when coloring with these two because I think I would try to control it a little bit too much. So I do have to say, this was a really fun card to make. I had such a good time with this. I love this stamp set. The florals are absolutely gorgeous. Just very different. Just doing a few more in this pale pink. I left the coloring in because I like to watch coloring. So I'm hoping you guys like to watch coloring too. Just adding a little bit more to that center flower because I just felt like I needed a little bit more dark, give it a little bit more depth to draw your eye in. So you can just go back and add. Let it dry a little bit to do it. So I'm using bright yellow, it really kind of looks like an orange, and I'm using this so sparingly. And once I got it on there and blended it out, I felt like it was a little too bright, hence the name bright yellow. So I just added a little bit of pale pink to kind of dull it down a little bit, and it made it perfect. So I just did that on all of them. All the rest of them anyways. A little bit more of that pale pink, just to kind of dull it down. And at first, when I was first putting on that bright yellow, I was like, oh my gosh, I have just ruined this beautiful stamp. Oh no. But I didn't. I was able to fix it. So don't panic. Just always, you know, try something else and see if you can salvage it for sure. I just can't say enough about this stamp set though. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the October card kit is just fabulous. Great, great products. I will be making more things definitely using that kit. One more flower to go. Using the pale pink here, super easy. I did a little bit of orange right in the center, the little dots in the center. Blend that out with my water brush pen. And that is, oh, I thought it was done. One more. And I felt like I needed green on this side to kind of balance out the design visually, so it just felt pleasing to your eye. So I did this flower also in the green. Okay, so in the card kit you get some papers, and this paper was the burnt orange. And I have to say, I'm not usually drawn to colors like this, but this cardstock is absolutely gorgeous. So I definitely thought if I use that on the background of this soft card, it will definitely make it feel fall. So I glued it to a top folding card base. I needed to trim up the edge a little bit. And so I'm just going to glue that on there. I mean, really, these are super simple cards, but I think the impact is fabulous. So this, I wanted a little bit of dimension on just this part of the card, so I popped it up with some foam tape. And we're going to stick it on that card base. And then now you've got this nice little frame with this burnt orange, and I just think it absolutely is gorgeous. I love, love, love this card. Okay, so I stamped the thanks with the sentiments out of the card kit. Popped that up on foam tape also. This is, well, let's see, it's the Nuvo Crystal Drops in Bubblegum Pink because I wanted it to be soft, and I just wanted a few of those. Look at that. It is so pretty, and it's got the shiny from the embossing powder. I just love that card. Thanks guys so much for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed this card video. I hope it makes you want to create. I hope it makes you want to make these alcohol ink backgrounds because they are just so fabulous fun. Thanks again for stopping by. If you liked it, please thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys, and have a really wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.